Morning you guys, it's Karen and I have got a really exciting dupe for you. I think it's really exciting and I know that you guys will have been watching me and listening to me talking about this Dr Jart BB balm for a long time. I have repurchased this exact one 3 times, and I've also got the Dr Jart Dissipore, and I've always said about the BB Dissipore that it's the same as this. It's really good, but I didn't feel it necessarily worked any better on my pores. You can buy this in Boots, but it is pretty expensive. I don't use this on its own, although I just said in a recent video, I actually this week used this and forgot to put on foundation. I like to use it under a foundation, and it just, whatever foundation I use, this was in my favourites again this month I think, whatever foundation I use, I get compliments from you guys, and it always seems to be when I've got this on as a base. I love the fact that it's SPF 45. I love the fact that it just gives a smooth base to the foundation. The fact that I forgot to put my foundation shows you that you do get a level of coverage from it. It was just, I was doing my bronzer and blusher and I thought, why can I see my freckles? I can't usually see my freckles, and I was like, damn it, I forgot to put foundation on. Because it's got a bit of colour, I obviously in my head feel like I've put foundation on, and I haven't. But it's also, I use it instead of a moisturiser, so I'll do my cleansing tone and then I put this on and then I go on to my usual makeup. Like I said, it's pretty expensive. It's £24 for us in Boots. You guys in the USA can buy it on Sephora. And I found this dupe that we can get in the UK and in the US as well, which I'm just delighted about. And it's this, it's the Soltan BB Face Light Medium. Now there doesn't appear to be a medium dark as far as I can see. I'm saying that I only just checked that on the Boots International website. I'm going to link it for you below where you can buy it. So let me tell you, I've got my little notes. I sat here making notes last night because what I've been doing is using this a couple of days this week to see if I wanted to make sure it really was the same. I have used this a few times before and kind of interchanged things, and I wanted to make sure, you know, it had the same amount of moisture, it did the same amount of job under different foundations, and I've got this one on today underneath my Lancome Teint Idole Ultra. So let me give you a swatch of them first so you can see the differences in colour, because there is a little bit of a difference in colour. But what I love about the BB cream is it's a cool colour, and so is this. This one, however, is a little bit lighter. I wonder if there is a medium to dark maybe in the store, because this is light / medium. You know, it'd be good if they did come out with a medium dark. So let me first show you a swatch of them, because this one is the Dr Jart one and this one is the Soltan. And I don't know whether you can see, the Soltan one is a bit lighter than the Dr Jart one, but it still gives the same amount of coverage. Let's actually rub it in. I think, you can see better there, I think, that one, the Soltan one, is a tad lighter. But like I said, it's not that far off colour-wise, and it's still very cool. It's still a cool colour that I think will work on any complexion. My only thing with it is, like I said, it is a little bit lighter once spread out, and that might be a problem for a more medium to dark skin tone, because I know that Lisa D1 wears this one and she's got a medium, hasn't she, coloured skin tone. But yeah, you can see how similar they are there, and they look the same as well. You can see that one's no more matte than the other. So price difference, the Dr Jart, like I said, is £24, the Soltan is £6, and you actually get more in this one. This one is 45ml, I think, no, 40ml, and this one is 50ml. Yeah, 40ml, 50ml. So you actually get more in the Soltan one, and it is £6. This one is £24. I'm just going to have a little look at my notes, because I did write down quite a few things last night. So in the Dr Jart one, no, let's do it the other way. Yeah, no, let's do the Dr Jart first. There's more silicone in this one. It's higher up on the ingredient list. I think it's like number 3 in this is silicone. That may be a plus or minus depending who you are. Some of us like silicone, some of us don't. This is low alcohol. It does have alcohol in it, but it's very low on the list. This one is slightly more moisturising on the skin. So because I'm using it instead of a moisturiser, I need it to not make my skin feel tight. Now, bearing in mind I've got oily skin, oily to normal now. It can be extremely oily, and it's been very oily in the last few weeks, but it also gets dehydrated, meaning even though I've got oily skin, it doesn't mean I've got nice soft skin that doesn't need moisture. If I don't put a good moisturiser on in the morning, my face feels kind of uncomfortable and tight, and this doesn't make it feel that way. Neither does the Soltan, but this one just feels ever so slightly more moisturising when you're putting it on. So my only concern there would be that maybe if you've got dry skin, I don't know if this would be moisturising enough. If anybody out there has used this, then please let me know, because I know when I showed this in a haul or in my day SPF lotions that a few of you had been using this and really enjoying it. So let's compare what they've got in them ingredient wise, because there were a few differences with this. So this one has no alcohol in it at all. This one has got alcohol, but it's very low on the list. So the reason I've used this and not worried about the alcohol is because it's way down on the list, but this one has no alcohol. They both have parabens in them, so unfortunately if that's something that bothers you, they do both have parabens, but again very, very low on the list. This one has no fragrance in it, the Dr Jart one. The Soltan one has fragrance in it, but it's very low on the list. I can't smell anything when I'm putting it on, it's that low on the list, and it doesn't irritate my skin at all. But if you have got very sensitive skin, then again it's maybe something to be aware of. One of the major differences between these, I haven't told you, the SPF of this is 50. This is 45 or 40, depending where you buy it. I think it's 45 in the US and 40 in the UK, or it might be the other way around, but this one is 50. So this one's got a higher SPF. They are both broad spectrum, meaning that they both have UVA and UVB, good UVA and good UVB coverage. I've done a whole video on sunscreen, which I'll link for you below actually, that might be interesting to some of you. Is that this one is a mineral sunscreen and this one is a chemical sunscreen. So if you have a preference, then that might be the decider for you. Certainly if you've got sensitive skin, like I said, this one's got very low perfume on it and is a chemical sunscreen. This one is a mineral sunscreen. You might be better with this one if you've got extremely sensitive skin. But there are people that react better to the chemical sunscreens. You know, there are some people that break out with physical sunscreens. So it just depends what you're looking for. I haven't broken out with either of these. I have got 2 blemishes, but it's definitely to do with hormones, and they came up before. Like, you know, I've used this for a long, long time now, and they came up before I started using this. What else have I said? This has got talc in it and this doesn't. If talc's something that's a problem for you. This one is slightly more moisturising. But when I say slightly more moisturising, I've got oily skin, but I've got dehydrated skin. So I've got varying degrees of oily skin, depending on where I am with my medication. Cyprotrone, people always ask me what's the medication I'm on. And like at the moment, for example, it's very oily, but it's still dehydrated. So if I put some of these oil-free matte day creams on, my skin can feel tight and uncomfortable. So I need something that's going to give me a good amount of moisture. And when I use this, my skin doesn't feel tight or uncomfortable, but neither does it with this. But it's just the ingredients in this and the feel of it when you put it on is just ever so slightly more moisturising. And the reason I'm telling you, even though I can't really see any difference, is that if you've got very dry skin, I would just worry that this wouldn't be moisturising enough. But you know, at £6 I think it would be worth a try, because if it wasn't, use another moisturiser underneath it and you'll still get a good use out of this. You know, you can still use it as your day cream, as a BB cream. But yeah, I just would worry about people with extremely dry skin, the same way as I would worry with people with extreme sensitive skin. I think that's the differences that I've told you, yes. Yeah, so other than that, they're just identical. They both spread lovely on your face. They both are easy to kind of blend in if you like. It is just like a moisturiser. I use them both with my hands. And if you were using it as a base even, I think that you'd be okay with your hands. On that day that I didn't put any foundation on, I forgot to put foundation on, what I did was I used a little bit of my Stila Pore Putty just sort of on my T-zone, and then I used a mineral powder again in my T-zone to just kind of cover up the freckles. I know a lot of people want the freckles to shine through, but I just wanted to cover it up a little bit more. But it's definitely something, if you like a light foundation and you're not looking for much coverage, this would be great. And it'd be great to use like either of these. I don't know why I'm holding that one up. It'd be great to use on holiday. Like this one, especially the packaging as well, is both really good. But it'd be a great one to take on holiday because it's nice and lightweight, so it's not heavy. This one's definitely heavier. This one is, it looks like it's a squeeze tube, but it isn't. It's hard plastic here, and it's got a pump. And this one is just, you open it and squeeze it out. But I don't have any preference. They're both pretty much the same thing, except that you could buy 4 of these exactly for the amount of one of these. Yeah, like I said, absolutely no difference performance wise. Both make my foundations look beautiful. Don't know why I didn't use this more or notice this more at the beginning, because this is not a new product. I haven't just found this. I just was looking through my drawer and said, oh, I haven't used that one for a while. I like to change things, and I shouldn't. I should concentrate on one and get it used up rather than using bits and pieces of everything. But I thought, hold on a minute, is this going to be a dupe? You know, and it absolutely is. I don't know how I didn't notice it before. But anyway, I get really excited about these. As I said in that last dupe video I did, or last video I did, that I'm mentioning this all the time. And I know that there will be people going, I can't afford £24 for a day lotion or something to make my foundation look amazing, you know, but I'd love to try it. And so this one hopefully is more within the reach of some people. So I have to say, I'm going to continue using this. Oh no, the Hoover. Shut the door. I don't like shutting the door really when Puppy's here, but he's crashed out in the bedroom, so that's fine. What I was saying was, going forward, I will be buying this one. This is what I will be using because it's a quarter of the price. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I don't mind the fact that it's got a chemical sunscreen in it, because it's not a product, it's not an ingredient I have any issues with. I have got 2 backups. I've got 2 bottles of this. One I'm sort of have used a little bit, and a spare one, and I've got a Dissipore. I can't remember if I've got a spare Dissipore. So I've got quite a few of these to go through, and this one. But when they are all run out, I will be using this one going forward. That's everything. I hope that that was useful to you. I will list all of my makeup and jewellery, etc. in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. I don't know whether to say this in every single video, but please feel free to leave any questions in the comments below. What I try and do is prioritise answering questions over and above comments. I would love to be able to say thank you to everybody that comments, but unfortunately I'm not able to do that, and have done a whole video on that over on my vlog channel if you're interested. But I do really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you soon.